Hello there, and welcome to the Antler Crown. My name is Elwyn, and you can find me on Instagram, YouTube here, and TikTok, where I go live Wednesdays and Fridays around 9 PM Central Standard Time. You can also purchase a reading from me on my Etsy store, private readings. The description, the links of all of these things are in the descriptions, along with virtual consultations via Square, and also my podcast, The Antler Crown, where me and my good wife talk about all things related to spirituality, witchcraft, and the paranormal, and we have a laugh while we do it. Now, you can also find me and support me on Patreon. All these links are listed below in the description also. Now, this is a reading for fire signs for the month of May. So, firstly, let's have a look at the general all of things that may be arising for some of you fire signs in the month ahead. Okay? This one. So, fire signs in general to start with. What challenges, what things may be popping up, what good things, bad things, all the things for some of you fire signs that you may need to know for the month ahead. The Devil, the Eight of Pentacles, the Moon, and Fortuna. Excuse me. Now, the Devil is linked to the material aspects of our world and base emotions that follow, that are attached to them. It's not bad. We all need these things to survive. And as I said recently, it is up to you how long or short you wish to make that chain. It is up to you on how involved you wish to be when it comes to relying upon material aspects of the world. Now, on the other side of things, there seems to be gain here. Progression through spirituality, but more importantly, and for most of you, there seems to be here finance. The Moon is this sort of vibing, is the only way I can think of it, vibing with someone about something to do with finance. Okay? So, that's good. It's a good thing. The Devil in this situation is just sort of a precursor to the material wants and desires, reminding you that you are human and it is okay to want things that humans want in life. We can't all be pious and saint-like always. It goes against our very nature and the purpose of our life here. Fortune. Moving, turning, always. There is the good and bad. And this month is, for many of you, I would actually say, the good and bad. And it all depends entirely on your perspective of how you may look at it. Okay? So, that is a quick general for the fire signs. Okay? Little message sort of thing there about what this is about. Now, we are going forwards doing something different, whereas before I would just do the elemental readings in general for them. Now I am narrowing down on each zodiac sign. Okay, so as we narrow down, underneath in the description, you will also find the timestamp for your sign, so that you can skip then straight to that timestamp. You don't have to wait. Okay, so have a look and then fast forward to where you need to be, or just watch the whole thing if you like. You know, it's fine. Good. Right. Did that again. Look. Did that again. What? It's because it's the wrong card, you imbecile. Right. There. That's better. Now, so, firstly, let's have a look at Aries, okay? Let's have a look in forms of career and general things like that for Aries. See what may be popping up for you guys in the month of May, okay? Ooh. Ooh, nice things. Good, nice things. Change, but positive change. Things to get excited about, which is fun. Now, death. Oh, no. Death is good. Death is fantastic. Death, when you look at the whole universal idea of death, it doesn't exist. It is a very earthly, very human construct, the same as time. Unless there is someone there to actually perceive it as such, it doesn't exist in that sense. And death and time, naturally, are very closely. They're good buddies. There is no death. So therefore, this card is not about final. Nothing is final. There is only decay. When something wears out, when something gives up and begins to decay beyond the point of rejuvenation, then the energy within it is transferred. There is decay, not death. Now, what does it mean? It means that there is new things happening, a transferal. You see here, the king is trampled underfoot. Long live the king. Because here, the bishop, priest, whatever, the guy with the weird kind of bird beak hat, he is intervening, pleading with death in this sense, to save the heir, to save the line. In other words, the pass on of a mantle in something, the rebirth, the coronation of something new. Coronation is actually a good way of putting it, because this is what it kind of feels like. What is it? Strength here. Now, strength can come across as a very simple card because it's kind of a very powerful and yet very sort of basic card, but it's not. It works with the other cards here. And what it works with in death when it comes to strength, it means that there are new forms of strength to be found in something along the lines of career. Something in the form of you may be able to bring something new to the table. You may be able to bring new ideas or even new points of view, new aspects. Now, the green light card, in many ways for this, is get ready, be prepared, say things that may be on your mind, do things that you feel compelled to do to create productivity for yourself. Okay? And there's that card again, and there is the other one, although swapped over. So, when it comes to, you may feel a little bit like, in the past, and just lately, even when you're watching this, I guess, you may feel like there's this, you're tired. You know, I'm tired. I don't want to have to keep, it's a bit of an uphill struggle. There's so much to do always, all the time. But you're forgetting, you're missing the point that you're doing it, you're living it, you're making it happen. And yes, you're tired, but there will be a break from this. There is that material link to this. And sometimes when it comes to work, sometimes it feels like the work owns you, not you own the work. Okay? And that's when it can really start to get you down. But working spiritually, working in this sense, trying to nourish the soul, not just the body. okay? But the soul, trying to find passion through creativity, things like that, can really rejuvenate and bring you back to what's important. Not that this isn't important, not that the material things that we need to survive and the things that we want and the things we feel we deserve aren't important. But sometimes it's not enough to keep us going, okay? Sometimes our cup needs to be refilled by something else other than this. And that's what that's about here, okay? So very much in that sense for the month of May, that's what you're going to be wanting to sort of look ahead at, you to remind yourself at, to find those things that give you passion creatively, that fulfill you creatively, okay? Because they can help. They don't even have to be related to work, okay? But it's something. You have to take those moments and do something that is just good for you, just feels good, makes you feel at peace. Moving on from that, we're going to look at love. Relationships here. We're going to use the same deck, and I'm not going to take these cards away. I'm going to leave these ones here because they are cast. That is set. Anything else that needs to be conveyed will come through in a different way because it is an intuitive read in that sense. So, the world. Nice. Good. Okay, so Aries, here, the world. Okay, there are possibilities, things opening up to you. It's been a long journey in terms of love and relationships. However, there is light at the end of this tunnel. There is the duality of things, the applying yourself in forms of relationships and love, and then also keeping certain things separate in order to maintain that balance. But the wants, the goals, things like that, your hopes, your ambitions, your dreams, when it comes to love, it is a matter of basically stepping out, a leap of faith when it comes to love in this instance. You cannot just kind of teeter around the precipice not wanting to take a leap here. You need to just jump, okay? Remember that throughout the month because that will be something that you may have to remind yourself on, okay? Now, what do we have here? Well, there is peace, okay? Now, when it comes to peace, don't worry about this card. I know it looks bad, but it is in correlation to these things because there is peace. There is a form of abundance in love, okay? This going in the same direction, two people going in the same direction, okay? As a family even, going in the same direction, wanting the same things. This is something that is going to be more noticed. This is something that is going to be acted upon. Everyone's going to be very active when it comes to relationships, when it comes to just living together and setting about what you want. Victory. Victory over what? Victory over terms of fears and the pains that are held within the self. Okay? So this is victory. And this is the vanquish of this. Okay? So, although we have the victory, and although there is these pains, there is the victory over them. These things, these fears of things that may happen, things that have happened, things that may repeat themselves, they are going to be gone. They are slowly on their way out. All right? They're there. Everyone's pulling in the same direction. Just keep going. Keep taking those little leaps of faith, of trust in things, and you'll find that in no time at all, this will be nothing but a memory. And that is the reading for Aries. So, now we go on to Leo. Hello, Leos. So, things may be a bit strange for you at the moment, perhaps, I feel. Now, things happening, lots of change, lots of weird stuff going on, good, bad, everything just mixed in, jumbled there. You're not quite sure how to feel in many respects. Don't worry, it's all right. Let's have a look. Now, let's have a look at career and finance, okay? Things like that. What's happening here for you, Leos? Let's give this a shuffle. Now, there's relevance to that card, I think, but it's not as relevant as what's next. Right. Good or bad here, Leos, good or bad, there is something happening that is almost beyond your control. You have no real say in whether or not what's going on. And this can be difficult for you because you like to sort of know. You like to know what's coming. You like to know what's happening, but you don't. And I'm afraid you're just going to have to ride it out. It's still your life. You're just not in full control right now, okay? Sorry. But good or bad, it comes out. It all comes out in the wash, as they say. Something else here, spirit in this sense, is taking the lead, is taking charge, okay? Perhaps maybe you have been dithering a little bit on choices. Perhaps you have been wondering, or a lack of faith in what you think should be the best outcome. Well, time's up. Someone else is going to take charge in that sense. But you know what? Sometimes it's better. Sometimes someone else taking over, something else, just taking the reins, means that you don't have to choose. But the problem, see, with that is when you don't have to choose, then what happens is there's chaos. There's change because you've put it off for as long as you can put it off. And now stuff has to get moved fast. Stuff has to happen now. So this is that sense of what's happening. Okay. Stuff that is happening now, stuff that is changing now. And that's all right. Trust in it. Okay. Because it's still within your best interest. It is still trying to get you where you need to get to progress in your life spiritually as well as just in general. The two are similar. They are linked. Your material life and your spiritual life are one and the same. Trying to keep the difference, the separation there is what can cause imbalance. Speaking of which, imbalance here, the pouring of the cups, as I say, it is about the shift in energy, pouring things back to place. Okay, as she steps into the water and as the sun rises here, it is something new, and it is this form of embracing change, adaptability. Okay, to adapt to things. Do not let your fears take over. Do not let your fears take control that could possibly ruin something that is good. Okay, instead, just adapt and flow with it. Trust in spirit. You've trusted so far. Why now? No, just trust in spirit. Okay. It is amazing how little control people can actually have in their lives, but the illusion of control is there. And that's not to say you have free will. You have free will whether or not you completely stay still for the rest of your life, but nothing will ever happen. Nothing good nor nothing bad. That's your free will. That's your choice. But if you are willing to work with the flow that is trying to force you downriver, if you are willing to swim with it, you'll get there twice as fast as swimming against it. So that's the case there. You know, it's free will, but at the same time, you know, that's the road you need to take. the destination is the same. It's just up to you how quick and how difficult you're going to make it. That's your free will. It's a bit of a cop-out, I know, but accepting that, trusting in that, and realizing it is only for your betterment, for your good, through love, that here, this is what can help. Now remember, this is about career, but this is also the transitions of things and the prospects of finance and things that are good that are coming to you. There is someone here, someone who offers and wishes to help, yet they may want to help too much, and that is okay. It is just their way of caring, okay? Now, in this sense, there is yet work to do. There has to be communication when it comes to the work. There has to be communication when it comes to ideas and kind of soundboarding off of each other, okay? Do not close off completely because you don't like what someone is saying. There has to be give and take here, all right? It is once again this lack of control, and being Leos, naturally, you, big-hearted, confident, okay? Charismatic Leos, but also want to control something, want to make sure they understand and see ahead in that sense and know what's happening. Trust in this. Trust that you know what's happening. You're a part of it, but someone else, you're both working in the same direction to get there. You just have different ideas, okay? There it is. There's the strength, the Leo aspect of yourself is great. It's a wonderful sign to have. Yet, here, this woman here, this is you, to tame that Leo. The strength is there, the charisma is there, the confidence, the compassion is all there, but the other things that run alongside the Leo, the judgment of others in some ways and the judgment of the self, that need to sort of see ahead and control and understand every little aspect that's going on and to need to know sort of thing. You can tame this, okay? Try to tame that. It will help when it comes to the transition. Stop fighting in that sense, okay? Now, let's look at love for Leos. Oh, I said it like that, sorry. Now, love for Leo. What's happening in the forms of loves and relationships and emotional attachments? There is this need for communication when it comes to relationships. The need for an honest heart-to-heart in forms of relationships. Okay? This is a requirement here, and this is something that you need to remember. If you feel overwhelmed, if you feel afraid or unsure of the direction where things in the terms of love are going for you, then you need to convey that. You need to voice that. How you voice that, however, is once again similar to the work thing, a big part of it. Coming across as the cup of peace, of nourishment, to talk very carefully on things, to explain yourself properly so things aren't misconstrued or you don't get defensive in that nature. After all, Leo being a giant cat, when a cat feels it is threatened or it is scared, it acts out against its nature. It is defensive behavior, but comes across as an attack. Try to keep a handle on that. Try to keep that under control. It can hold you in good stead when it comes to trying to get fears and worries across. Just because you're getting fears and worries across to someone specifically who there is emotional attachment to, does not mean that you are exposing your soft underbelly in that sense, okay? So remind yourself that, this is why you're saying it, because this person is the person who needs to know such things. In terms of love, there is so much potential here. This is comfort and the future aspect of things to look on and realize the accomplishments that you have in terms of there is family there, this gentleman there, he's there with his dogs, he's got his nice big kind of cozy robes and blankets on. There's lots of lovely things around him that he has worked for, that he's invested in, and therefore, it's happy, it's content. Okay. Now, for some other of you Leos, you may be feeling pain when it comes to love. Okay. You may be feeling a heavy burden, a sadness when it comes to love. There may be a form of exposure. You may have found something out that you really didn't want to know, that you really could have done without, but you needed to know, and you did need to know. And now you're not sure what to do with that. You're not sure what to do with that information. You're not sure what steps to take in that direction. Your higher self, this is the Hierophant. The link between the mundane and the spirit is your higher self. It is the you in spiritual form. This always tells you the truth, and you may not want to hear it. Your human nature wants what you want. This wants what you need, and the two can conflict. So we can block that out, listening to it, listening to what it's telling you, trying to connect that. There may be necessary steps to take to separate away from someone in this instance. Now, why? To rest. There has been too much damage there. This comes into healing. And I'm sorry about that. I am. If that's you, I'm sorry about that. But there are things here for you that your higher self, that spirit want for you, that someone else obviously is not doing, that someone else is hurting you, and perhaps you are hurting someone else. It's time to step up, recognize it, see it for what it is. No grey areas. It's this and that. And then act on it. Make that decision. So, I'm sorry about that, but, Leo, that's you for love, okay? Now, let's have a look at the last one. Sagittarius. Collectively, I suppose, let's call it Sagittarii. No, let's not. Now, change of card for the Sagittarius. Let's have a look at career. What does career have here? Oops. What's going on in terms of career? Now, right, well, firstly, here, not saying something, perhaps asking for a promotion, perhaps holding back because you feel that you deserve something that you have not been recognized, your recognition for. Okay, don't be bitter about something, because what you're doing is just cutting off your nose to spite your face. Quite literally here. You're not hurting, you're merely denting something for someone else. whereas what you're doing is damaging potential. Instead, the work that you do, the value that you hold within yourself, commendable, yes. To recognize your worth in your career, your work, great. But it is not gone unnoticed. You need to voice these things. You need to command recognition for what you do. If you work very hard for it, this is the leap. For what you want, you have to take that leap. There's only other way. There is no safe way of asking for these things. And you'll be surprised. A little secret here. People often go through life conditioned to, if I do this, it will work. If I do this, someone will eventually recognize what I'm doing and reward me for it. Yeah, it happens. But you know what happens usually? You ask for it because you have the confidence. You have the confidence to say, hey, I work bloody hard. I work bloody hard and I deserve something for this. And people look up and take notice and they're like, yeah, you do. Okay, here. Now, why? Why is that? Because we think that people are watching us. Okay? We think people recognize what we do. And sometimes they do, but oftentimes people are too busy trying to do exactly the same that you're doing. So they don't. They don't. They get tunnel vision. And you get tunnel vision trying to impress this person or trying to prove that you deserve something. While to that person who is also trying to prove that they deserve something or just trying to simply get by, they may have even switched off in terms of your job. Instead here, kind of, hey, look at me. I deserve this. That can help greatly. Okay? I know. It seems like, oh, the audacity to do that. That's cheating. It's not cheating. That's not cheating. Simply just standing up and saying, hey, I want this. That's not cheating. What's cheating is being led to believe, people telling you, people at the top telling you that if you work hard enough, someone's going to notice you. Someone's going to then shower you with all the things that you deserve because you worked hard for it. No, ask for it. Say, hey, I have worked. That doesn't mean don't work hard for it, but that at the same point being like, look at everything I do. I work twice as hard. I deserve something for it. This is the key to it, because this makes you stand out. Everyone is trying to work hard. Everyone is trying to get something. But how many of them actually just ask? Why? We feel it's not our place. Oh no, dare not ask. Ask. You'll be surprised what you can get if you just ask. Now, for some others of you, Sagittarius, there is a fight and it's been hard in terms of work. Now, however, there is victory here. Keeping up, perhaps on payments, things like this. It's been difficult, okay? Yet, there is a silver lining to this. There is a new tomorrow coming. What you have to make sure of here is that I feel like almost looking for work, and once you get work, it may not be the work you want. You may be like, oh, it may even be less pay in that sense. It may be something like that. It's work. Start there. Okay? Don't mourn that you've lost. Instead, that feeling of, oh, I have to start again. Yeah, you may have to. But you take what I said for that last bit and you work hard. You get up and you do it again. And you apply everything you've learned so far to it. And then when you've got enough under your belt to prove that, you say, hey, I deserve more. For whatever that is, a promotion, a raise, whatever, I don't know. A new position, go out and find something else, I don't know. But then you do it. Love. Let's have a look at love and see what love has to offer for Sagittarius. I don't know why. I'm beginning to sing. It's kind of getting annoying. Right. Different cards. Sagittarius. Love. What's happening? Relationships, emotional attachments, you know, that sort of stuff for the month of May. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, a few of you, or one of you, I don't know, but someone is thinking about getting married. Someone is perhaps about to get married. This is very clearly marriage, okay? It can mean celebration of something, yes, but here I'm really seeing marriage. So, that's a good indicator if this is for you. There is offering, there is this refreshing new sort of energy coming on here. Trying to keep up with certain things when it comes to payments and the very earthly sense of things here. You need a vacation. It's tough. There's a lot to do. Try to keep things in perspective right now, okay? Because at the end of the day, marriage isn't just about that one day. That one day is wonderful, it's beautiful, but it's exhausting and it can drain you financially, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And you need to kind of bounce back from that, almost hit the ground running, like, now, right, now we're married, back to life. And if that's you, just remember that, because normal life resumes, okay? And yeah, you're married and it's great, but you're still going to be doing some of the same things here that you were doing before. And there's this massive like build up, like, we're married, yeah. And then it's like, oh, now we carry on. Don't get sort of bogged down by that. So remember to take that time away when it comes to the financial things. Remember to take that time when it comes to sort of relaxing and getting some more R&R after that. Okay, because that weird adjustment, that's how things change, especially I think, when it comes to marriage. It's like, well, things change when they're married. They don't. Your expectation changes. Nothing needs to actually change in that sense. It's your expectation, because you've planned and you've invested on this massive thing and this big ceremony. And it's wonderful. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. And then it's like, oh, and then you go and you have this perhaps wonderful paradise of a honeymoon and the romance, and everything's all heady with wine and love and all the great things. And then you come home and you're like, wow, this is it. This is our new life, to get married. Great. You know, we're married. And then it's like, and then the next day you wake up and you go to work and you put on the coffee maker and you carry on. And it's like, what? And it's slowly the realization of those things that I didn't expect. I expected something to be a bit different. No, it's not. You're married. That's it. Okay? You've had the celebration. You celebrated this love. You've made this commitment to one another. It doesn't change anything about your actual relationship when it comes to the mundane aspect of life. And so therefore, I think that's what people think. It's the absence of change that they find shocking, rather than actually something that changes when things get married, what they expect. Now, as far as love here, we've got that. There is this kind of hold here for some others of you. Now, this is a separate thing, okay? This isn't the marriage part. This basically was telling you, remember, keep an even mind, a level mind, and enjoy it. Okay, enjoy it, then come back. But, you still can carry that on. So what we have here, this may be feeling stuck in terms of love, in terms of what to do for Sagittarius, some of you. Now, here, this is a kind of a force that comes in. These the inevitable forces that are necessary to change, almost a divine will in a sense that kind of comes in, changing things up. And this is what may be happening here for you in terms of relationships for Sagittarius for some of you. So this feeling of kind of like in a bit of a rut, not being able to do the things you want in this sense. Something is happening, something is changing, okay? This, in a sense, is the calling. This is judgment, but this is almost like the calling of this. The waking up, what? And because you hit the ground running, things start happening, things start moving, which is great. But remember, when it comes to love, if you are in a relationship, to share in that feeling, because sometimes you may forget that there's not just you who are feeling this. The other person is feeling it too. The other person may be spinning along too. They may be completely unaware of it even. Sharing in this sense, talking about it, can help greatly. Feeling almost that though you are completely ripped out of an environment and thrown into something that is completely different in terms of people around you in a relationship, looking for a relationship, in terms of love, like a fish out of water. This is a completely new environment. Oh my goodness, I just want to go back to what it was. No, you don't. Honestly, you don't. You adapt or die. That's what it comes to. I'm sorry, but that's very kind of Darwinian, but it's true. Because that is what's necessary. Okay? Look for the ways in which you can thrive in new environments. We all can do it differently. Okay? We all have that unique gift of being able to thrive differently in different environments when we're put into them. When it comes to working towards yourself, self-love, and love between two people, if you are trying to build on something, this is where you can find that strength. Oh, strength. Okay. This is it. Where you can find that strength to kind of adapt, not perhaps even if it's just you to help find love, but also if you are with someone in love and how you adapt together. Okay. The dynamics that can help also. So I hope this helps you. Remember to watch each aspect of the self. So, therefore, the sun is your personal overall self, your personality. Okay, your sun sign is your sign, your zodiac, who you grow up to be and everything, who you evolve into in that sense. The moon is more under the dominion of, not the moon, but emotional aspects, the hidden self, who we were as a child, our pure spirit self. And then we have the rising. Yes, rising. So the rising, different. How you relate to others and how you project yourself to be, or how others perceive you, the way you project that. Remember to watch each one, because each one can complement and help give other meanings to certain things as well. So, thank you for coming to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe or share. And I hope to see you in the month. Have a blessed month. Goodbye.